Hey folks, hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a review of a record that actually came out a few months ago, and there's already a bunch of reviews on this record. This is a record I'm talking about, of course, The Cult, Under the Midnight Sun. But I had a subscriber ask me to do a review of the record, so it's kind of late, but I'm going to do one anyways. So I'm going to just go talk some general comments, and then I'll go song by song and give you my impressions. But just to kick it off, I've watched some of these other reviews, and there's a lot of mention of this is very much like Dreamtime, like Love, that there's no, kick-ass songs on this, that type of thing. And that's probably why some people maybe don't like it. But there is no Love Removal Machine. There is no Firewoman on this. There's no Plastic Fantastic Telephone, Lobster Telephone, or whatever it is. That type of lyric on it. It's a much more somber record, much more introspective. It's really mood music, and you have to be in the right mood for it. That's what I find with this record. In terms of, does it sound like Love and Dreamtime? I mean, there's a lot more going on with this record. Arrangement, the songs have a lot of layers to them. It's head and shoulders above what they were doing back then. They've really grown as incredible musicians. But anyways, so I'm going to go through the songs one at a time, tell you my thoughts, and just real briefly, and then summarize it all at the end. All right, first track on the record is a song called Mirror, which has a kind of a sinewy Billy Duffy part that kind of weaves its way through the song. Different chords behind it, kind of giving it, coloring it in different ways, and very mid-tempo song. I like there's a great transition between the main chorus part and Ian's the verse part where it kind of really tones down. It's a mid-tempo song. This is very cult-like. It's got that sort of goth kind of mysterious vibe to it, and the video that accompanies it is quite good too. Just a real straight up typical cult song, and reminiscent from sort of that same type of sound as Love, but this has got a lot more, like I said, layers going on than they were doing back at that time, and some fantastic guitar fills from Billy. So this is a good song. Again, just a mid-tempo song, right? All right, let's go on to the next track. So the next track, A Cut Inside, starts off with some treble drums and some heavy, guitar and this kind of an Indian flavored Billy Duffy thing, and stays real somber. But the best part for me of the song is when it opens up into that transition into the chorus, and it just gets big, and it sounds so, it's got such an 80s vibe to it. I love when it opens up big like that. And the highlight for me on this one is Billy has an actual bona fide guitar solo on this. It's very thematic, kind of, very directly linked to the melody of the song, but still a solo. And it just builds up to a crescendo, and he just takes off and he starts playing, and that's kind of the highlight of the song for me. So another good tune on this, again staying with the sort of the same type of tempo as the first song. And yeah, they're all kind of, mid-tempo songs, and again there's a lot of layers to this, so it's like the more you listen to it, the more you'll pull out of it. So Cut Inside, second track, not bad. Right, this one's called Vendetta X. And this starts off with like a little distorted kind of almost dance sounding bass groove to it, with the drums, and then the guitar is just kind of overlay on top of that, but it's really driven by that. And this introduces a little bit of synth, almost sounds like a little bit of a dance feel really to this song. And it's got a very hooky chorus, but again, that same kind of tempo. But of the songs I've heard so far, this one and Mirror, I think of the most hooky songs of the two. But again, it's a little departure from the other songs. It's not guitar driven. It's sort of more of a bass and drums groove driven with a little bit of keyboards to spice it up. But not a bad song. Pretty cool. Vendetta X. All right, next track is Give Me Mercy. So this was the lead-off single from the record. It starts off with that great melody line of Billy's, and which is what they use for the chorus. And I really like Ian singing on this because he he's singing low and he's belting, and I just love the timbre of his voice. Just the sound of his voice is I've always been a big fan of Ian as a singer. And there's a bona fide guitar solo at the end too. Billy's able to go a little crazy and it gets a little heavier at the end, so it kind of builds up, which is nice. It's got some really nice dynamics. I should say most of their songs have always the quiet bit and the louder bit, the light and the dark. They all have dynamics to them, which makes them really interesting. And again, another reason why, multiple listens to really, take it all in, because there's a lot going on with all these songs. And this is another one. I mean, I've heard this song, I don't know, half a dozen times, and every time I hear it, I'll pick up something new. So, but yeah, "Give Me Mercy" is a great song. It's a great lead-off single, and I love that Billy lead at the end is really killer. So check that one out for sure. All right, moving on. "Outer Heaven." Um, wow, that song is incredible. It is so big, epic. It has all the stuff that I love about the Cult. Dynamics, it builds up. It's all sort of orchestral at the beginning, and then the drums and the guitar take in, so then it becomes like a rock tune, and then they bring in the orchestration again at the end, and it just keeps building and building and building to this incredible crescendo at the end, and then it comes right back to where it started. What a fantastic song, man. It's one of those songs that you listen to and you just like, you're mind blown, like, wow. And I've, no matter how many times I heard it so far, I mean, it just like, wow, that's how you write a song. Really, really incredible. That's probably my favorite or my top two on this record. So yeah, "Outer Heaven" is amazing. And there's a little Billy Duffy little lead party plays in a transition there that is just a perfect note choice and just a fantastic little solo that he plays there as well. I always got to give props to my buddy Billy. Love Billy. All right. And now to the next song. All right, then we come to "Knife." Let me just make sure I get "Knife Through Butterfly Heart." Same type of deal as the other songs. Starts off slow, and then these big, Godzilla Billy Duffy riffs come in, and then for me that's the coolest part of the song is when it's those big heavy riffs when they come in. Some nice noodling by Billy on this track. This is this is a song that it's not one of my favorites on the record. It's not a bad song. There's really no songs on this record that are bad per se. This does fit the sort of, the theme of the record. It kind of ties in, sonically with everything else that they're doing on the record. It's not a bad song, but there's other songs on this record that I like a lot better. But I do love those heavy riffs when they come in. Those riffs are really, really cool. All right, moving on to "Impermanence." All right, "Impermanence." This is a pretty cool song. I like that Billy Duffy riff that kind of runs and kind of links the whole song together. Again, it's got some decent changes in it. I love the bass line on this. I like how the bass carries it. It's got that 80s gothic kind of vibe to it, which is very cool. And Ian's kind of crooning over it, which is sounds very cool. Yeah, it's a pretty cool tune. And I love the acoustic guitar underneath. That sounds really nice too. It really propels the song. So not a bad track. "Impermanence," and now it's good. This only has 8 songs on it, right? Next, "Under the Midnight Sun." So "Under the Midnight Sun" hangs there really well with the rest of the songs. Very similar in structure. Starts off real slow with some strings, and then it kind of builds up a little bit. Not as big as some of the other songs on here, but the string arrangements are very, very cool. Billy's playing some really good lines throughout the song. Ian is, basically just crooning. He's not really belting it. There's no, it's not a belter, this song. It's more of, again, an introspective kind of, more of a thoughtful type of song. But it fits the sort of landscape of the whole record. So it hangs there pretty well with the rest of the record. So for my final thoughts. All right, so what I take away from this record is that it is not the obvious. It is not a party record. It's not something you're gonna, throw on and boogie, and it's not one of those types of records. This is a record that you have to be in the right mood for. You put on the headphones or the earbuds and you just listen, because this record does what most records I like do, which is it takes you on a little trip, right? It takes you through a lot of different styles and dynamics and changes. It keeps your interest from song to song, which I really enjoy records that do that. It's a grower for sure. It's not something that you might, because it doesn't have like, catchy choruses and lots of hooks. So it takes a little bit more, again, of focused listening, to get an appreciation for what's going on. But there is a lot of really great musical moments on this. But it is a grower. I find that, the more I've listened to it, the more I actually enjoy the record. But you really have to be in that mood. You just want to shut the world out, put the headphones on or the earbuds, whatever, and just listen to some music and be transported. This is a really, really good record for you. So I'd say if you're into that sort of thing, then yeah, definitely suggest this record. If you're a cult fan, you'll probably buy this record anyway. And I don't think as a cult fan you'll be disappointed, because that is a side of the band that I think we all enjoy. So hopefully it's a little bit this late review, but hopefully you got something out of it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.